Explanation of the script. AWS Template Format Version, September 9, 2010, specifies the version of the AWS CloudFormation template format being used. Resources. This section defines the AWS resources that will be created or managed by the CloudFormation template. MyOutbound Proxy API Gateway defines an API gateway resource named MyOutbound Proxy API Gateway. Type. AWS API Gateway REST API specifies the type of resource as an API Gateway REST API. Properties defines the configuration properties for the API gateway, including the name, MyOutbound Proxy API, and description. MyOutbound Proxy Integration defines an API gateway integration resource named MyOutbound Proxy Integration. Type. AWS API Gateway Integration specifies the type of resource as an API gateway integration. Properties defines the configuration properties for the integration, including the REST API ID, ref MyOutbound Proxy API Gateway, integration HTTP method, post, type, HTTP and URI, your outbound proxy URL. MyOutbound Proxy Method defines an API gateway method resource named MyOutbound Proxy Method. Type. AWS API Gateway Method specifies the type of resource as an API gateway method. Properties defines the configuration properties for the method, including the HTTP method, post, resource ID, get ATT MyOutbound Proxy API Gateway, root resource ID, and REST API ID. Ref MyOutbound Proxy API Gateway. It also references the integration created earlier. For CRUD operations on the stack, you can use the same commands provided in previous responses. Here's a recap. Create the CloudFormation stack. Bash. Copy code. AWS CloudFormation create stack. Stack name MyOutbound Proxy Stack. Template body file :/outbound proxy template YAML. Read details of the stack. Bash. Copy code. AWS CloudFormation describe stacks. Stack name MyOutbound Proxy Stack. Update the CloudFormation stack. Bash. Copy code. AWS CloudFormation update stack. Stack name MyOutbound Proxy Stack. Template body file :/updated outbound proxy template YAML. Delete the CloudFormation stack. Bash. Copy code. AWS CloudFormation delete stack. Stack name MyOutbound Proxy Stack. An analogy for this setup could be a mail sorting center with a special outgoing mail department. API Gateway represents the mail sorting center. Outbound Proxy Integration represents the outgoing mail department, which handles all outgoing mail requests and sends them through the outbound proxy server. Method represents the specific mail sorting process for outgoing mail requests. Here's a mind map representing the components of the outbound proxy API gateway. API gateway. Integration. Outbound proxy URL. Method. HTTP method. Resource ID. This mind map illustrates the components and their relationships within the outbound proxy API gateway created using AWS CloudFormation.